Well, this is a random, spontaneous episode. My name is Brenna, the host of the Work in Process podcast. It is 9:30 at night on a weeknight. If you know me, you know that I should be showering, I should be taking my magnesium, I should be cuddled up. But in order to have dreams and aspirations, you have to put the work in. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. Welcome to the Work in Process podcast. I'm the host, Brenna. Nice to meet you. Essentially, we're going to be talking all things 20s. So much happens in your 20s, and we're all on so many different timelines. There's no reason for you to feel behind, not worthy, alone. Those are the worst feelings ever. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to lie. I was just sitting in my bed and I was like, I need to just talk. I need to get this out of my mind. So I'm going to be talking finances, okay, in your 20s. But finances in general are important for every single person, no matter how old you are. So finances. This is going to be a quick, high-level rundown of what your finances should look like, or what your finances should start to look like as you get older, as you grow wealth for yourself. But this is for those people who want to grow their money, who want to save money, who want to get better at budgeting, but who also want to feel like they're living their life. I'm a girl that wants to feel stable and confident in my money, but at the same time, I want to feel like I'm living and I can buy a coffee if I want to. I don't want to feel limited by my means. It's a horrible place to be. It's pretty easy to feel like that, especially in your 20s when we don't really have much wealth backing us up. The majority of us are not wealthy. The majority of us are not born into wealth. We are meant to grow it and cultivate it. My parents were like, okay, you don't want to live at home? That's fine. Go. Be on your own, fully financially independent. And it sounds beautiful. I am financially independent. However, it comes with a cost. And that cost can be stress, can be anxiety. So I've been living on my own for about 2.5, 3 years now. And when I first moved out of my parents' house, I genuinely was like, I'm great, I'm fine. I can spend whatever I want. And before I knew it, I had all of my savings gone. I literally lived at my parents' house for a year and I saved up not a lot. I'll just say that wasn't a lot. And I blew through it within 6 months. And then those 6 months rolled around and I was like, holy bleep word. And my financial advisor, I'm lucky enough to have a financial advisor, he literally called me and he was like, Brenna, you need to get your shit together. He was like, you need to seriously start saving your money, right? Or give it to me to invest. You don't even have any money for me to invest. And I am also so lucky. I do not have student loans. I do not have a car payment. I have no debt. Guys, this is just me blowing through my money. Literally, I have nothing to be even owing except rent. Yet I managed to blow through a significant amount of money in a very short period of time. So ever since that point, it was a turning point. I remember I was like, okay, I need to start doing this right. And I didn't even know what right meant. And the thing is I don't want to be a cheap person. I hate the word cheap. I think being cheap is kind of gross. I'm sorry. I don't think you should use that term to describe yourself. I think you need to just have a naturally abundant mindset. Even if you're quote unquote finding the best deal for something, do not call yourself cheap. And I just hate that word in general. And so I just have this fear of being cheap and being, the person that just gets the bottom of the barrel all the time. And I don't want to live in fear of my money. And that was like a big thing. But at the same time, I didn't want to overspend. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay. Essentially, I just wanted to make this episode because a lot of us struggle and a lot of us have different financial goals and a lot of us are in different financial standpoints or different financial situations at this current moment. Some of us have debt. Some of us are living with our parents. Some of us are living with very low rent. Some of us have very high rent. Some of us have jobs that pay us very well. Some of us are fully unemployed. in your 20s, there's just like so much, and like the money, it just like goes like that too. But I don't want any of you to be like listening to this and then like just feel stress and strain. But there's a couple rules that I've kind of just like learned over this only year that I just want to share with you guys. Specifically, I learned a lot recently because I had changed jobs recently, and that requires you to change your 401k or whatever kind of retirement you have, your health insurance. So I was adulting a lot these past couple weeks or so, and I had a bunch of bills due, and I literally was sitting there with myself and I was like, holy shit, like this is adulting, like this is serious. Some general rules of thumb that I encourage you to think about are, firstly, what are you spending your money on? Do you have obligations that you have to spend money on? Do you have like, your monthly student loan payment? Do you have a car payment? Do you have rent? Like what are your requirements to live, to operate? Base requirements to stay out of the court, to literally just be a normal human being living on this earth. What is your base? Looking at that and being like, so like, what do you need and what do you want? And there's a very big space in between those two things. And so taking a bigger step back of like when you're purchasing something or about to buy something or thinking about going out for food, being like, do I need this or do I want this? Like really deep down, and not being like from a lack standpoint of like, oh, I can't afford that, but being like, is this a smart decision for me? Would a future me be proud of myself for buying that? And in some cases, yes, believe me, I have bought a lot of things where I'm like, I think that was a great purchase. And there have been some things that I'm like, damn, that's a waste of fucking money. I don't want any of you to be making dumb purchases. So rule number one is don't make a dumb purchase anymore. Stop. If you're noticing that it's like online shopping, or if you're noticing it's something that you're kind of just like sitting there, going back and forth, should I buy it? Should I not? Stop and, revisit in 5-10 minutes and have more clarity. I think it's hard because we have a lot of access to things. There's a lot of things to do all the time, and it's easy to make a rash decision on a purchase, but I encourage you to be slower with your decision to purchase something. Number two, how are you saving your money? Where is your money being saved? Okay. I didn't know this until last year that apparently my financial advisor told me, he was like, you should have 3 times your monthly pay just sitting there in like a rainy day fund. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, and then anything else you invest or you have in your retirement, wherever else your money is, that's where it needs to go. So a rule of thumb is you should have 3 months, 2 to 3 months, preferably 3 at least, in an interest-bearing savings account that at least yields 3 to 4, maybe 4.5 if you're lucky, % interest, no fees. So basically what that means is, if you don't know what that means, it means that your money needs to be making money, even if it's just a little bit of money, if it's just going to be sitting there and it's not going to be invested. Anything additional, unless it's being saved for a house, should be invested in the stock market. And so you can literally open a Fidelity account, a Robinhood account, and you can invest your money into the basic indexes. This does not require any type of rocket science. You can invest your money into the Vanguard, the QQQ index, these high indexes that cover the entire market. It does not need to be tech stocks, everyone. Tech stocks are on the rise right now because there's a bunch of IPOs coming up, but genuinely, you do not need to be running the rat race of that. Get your big companies, invest your money, and just see how it grows. And you can make not crazy money, but you can make money through that, keeping an active tap on those investments for a long period of time. Your 20s are meant to absorb the risk of the market. Your 20s are literally meant for you to take those wins and take those losses. And so I encourage you to take the risk and invest some money, guys. Like just try it out. It's free. It's literally free. I want to talk about Roths and 401ks. So a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA, 401k, whatever. A Roth, I'm sure this is information that we should all already know, but if you don't know it, that's totally okay. I'm here to talk about it. A Roth is money that you put into a retirement account that you cannot access until you're 59 and a half, or I think, 59 and a half. And that money comes from money that's in your bank account. So my employer paid me, my paycheck was $2,000. They taxed me on $2,000, so I took home 1,600. That's 1,600. I moved 600 into my Roth, and then when I take that money out at retirement, that grows in investments. Make sure that's an investing Roth, and then at that point, when I take it out, when I'm 59 and a half, whatever withdrawal I get is tax free. So I can take the full amount back with me, no penalties. The only penalty that you'll have with the Roth is if you withdraw anything early, which is with any type of retirement. So I highly recommend a Roth, guys. You no longer qualify for a Roth once you hit a certain amount of income. So if you're planning on becoming a CFO or a controller or a doctor, really get on this now, because you're not going to be able to qualify for it later. However, if you're not someone that really plans on making like over, I think 150K might be the limit. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But if you're not planning on making a crazy ton of money in your life, which is perfectly fine, then just start it now, guys. You literally can save so much money in taxes when you're older. I would rather be taxed on that money now than be taxed on it on retirement. If you are confused and need more questions, reach out to me about that. A lot of employers will advertise a traditional 401k. They offer these plans, they have a match. That money goes in pre-tax now and then will be taxed on later. So when you're older, all of your withdrawals are going to be taxed on. So if you want to take out $2,000, you're going to take home X less that tax, and you'll probably be in a lower tax bracket when you're older, but still, it's just something to consider. I feel like I'm rambling and I feel like a nerd. Time is so valuable in your 20s that that's what makes us advantageous. That's what makes a 20-year-old starting to invest in their retirement in a much better position than a 40-year-old who just started, or a 35-year-old. You don't want to be 33, 34, 35 and be like, oh shit, I have to start saving for retirement. Get on that shit early, even if it's like $200 a month. Like little bits go a long way. So I recommend a Roth for your retirement. A Roth IRA that is invested in the stock market. Take a look into it, research it, get your hands on it. Another thing that I actually learned recently, I don't know if this is the case for Roths, but it might be, but with 401ks, you can actually take out, which I find this very interesting, you can take out money as a loan for a house, like payment, like down payment. So if you have, let's say, 40K in your 401k and you want all of that, you take it out as a loan and then you pay it back with interest that actually goes into your account. So it's not interest that leaves. So like you're paying this loan, you're paying a little bit more than you took out, yes. However, all of that money's yours. I thought that was kind of interesting. And another thing too is if you have an employer, you have a job, make sure you have an HSA set up with them. An HSA is also a pre-tax investment account that can only be used for medical purchases. However, it can grow substantially tax-free and will not be taxed on if you use it for a medical purchase. For example, at my company, I need about, I think, $2,000 to $3,000 to qualify for an investment HSA account. So then once I qualify and it becomes an investment HSA account, it will go into the stock market. I think I can say which stocks I want it to go into, and then it will grow. Let's say I have a surgery that costs $3K. I can move $3K out of my HSA for that medical purchase, just take all of it, not be taxed on it, and use it for my purchase entirely. So I think they call it a triple tax savings. Also, as you get older, you're going to be having medical payments. So you should have money saved in a medical savings account where that money isn't being taxed. Guys, this is like a wealth of knowledge. If any of that sounds, super foreign to you, reach out to me. We can talk more about it. But also, what if you're like, Brenna, how do I even build up my savings? And let me tell you a trick that really, really worked for me. I made 2 bank accounts. I highly recommend you have more than one bank account, but basically it really helped me when I was like, majority of my paycheck should go to X account and the remainder will go to this account. And so I only saw like not very little, but I didn't see much. And so whenever I went on that app, I didn't really go on the other one. When I went on that app, I was like, wow, like I don't have that much money, like I don't want to spend my money. It's like all mental. I just like started thinking about my purchases a lot more, and I've grown a lot in my finances over the past year, and I'm really proud of myself. Also, a big thing too with saving money is how are you spending your time? And previously, majority of my time would be spent spending money. Like any free time I had, if I wasn't working, I was spending money. Like, what, I'm gonna read a book all day and like fucking be depressed? Like, no, like it's so hard to have free time and not spend money. Like being a girl in your 20s, like obviously I'm going to be spending my money. I just don't want to live in like a lack mindset. So like finding a balance of like letting yourself have some of those things so like you still feel like you're loving yourself while also being smart about it is like really something that I've honestly struggled with. They say like what you spend your money on is like a direct example of like what you care about. I completely agree with that statement. Just know that you're not supposed to be wealthy in your 20s. Like, you're literally not supposed to be a millionaire. Like, you are supposed to just be working through it. How much money is a lot of money? I don't know. Money stress is a thing, and I don't want any of you to have that stress. It's not a good place to be. Don't live in a poverty mindset, live in an abundance mindset, even if you're unemployed, even if you're navigating jobs, even if you're not saving a lot of money right now. Like, just give yourself a break, give yourself a breather. I live in Tampa, in this big city where like people are literally just all money. Like people are walking $100 bills like in their aloe set. Like everyone looks amazing. It only makes you want to spend more money, but just remembering what's important to you and what you care about and putting your money into that, and it's going to be different for everyone. So just being more gentle with yourself about your money spending and your money habits, but also recognizing, okay, where are some areas that like I can improve? Where are some areas that maybe I shouldn't be spending that much money there? Am I going out every weekend and dropping $200 at the bar? Like stuff like that, where it's like, what makes sense, you know, for me and my future self? Let's start saving our money and being so fucking smart about it. Like, I am done with this poverty, this lack mindset, this, like I'm poor. No, we're not living like that. I do not want to be living in a poor, lack, poverty mindset. That is horrible. Let's have abundance and wealth for us coming in 2026 and years forward. My goal here is to help you find a balance of truly, you know, being able to save your money and spend your money in a way that you feel empowered by, in a way that you feel growth, in a way that you feel a safety net, truly, that you're building for yourself. I think money is such an empowering thing when we use it properly, and especially as young people in this world, it's so important that you feel strong with your money and you feel confident in your money and you feel just powerful in how you handle your money, no matter how little or how much you have. I've met people in the past that definitely are not poor and they call themselves poor, and I'm like, do not call yourself poor. You're not poor. You're not homeless. Like, don't call yourself poor or cheap. I really encourage you to try to find an abundance mindset of your money wherever you are, whatever financial standpoint you're in right now, whatever journey you're about to embark on. I want you to feel abundantly wealthy, and literally just training your mind of like, no matter if I have $5 in my bank account, if I have $10,000 in my bank account, if I have $50,000 in my bank account, I feel wealthy regardless. However, when you start to learn how to save your money and how to budget a little bit more and how to invest your money a little bit more, your confidence will grow so much as well as a result. I just think that's so important to really understand that importance. I think a lot of us can easily kind of just brush away from it and be like, yeah, I'm saving my money. Like, yeah, it's great. Our entire lifestyle is built upon money. Money is very, very important, mentally, physically, in all ways. Think about how much power your money has over you in this current moment in your life. How much power does it have over you genuinely? Is it something that you can't go to sleep without thinking about? Do you check your bank account every single day? Do you check your investments every single day? Like, what kind of relationship does that look like? Are you trying to prove yourself to people based on the money that you want them to think that you have? Like, I don't know. Like, kind of analyze, where am I at with my money in my 20s especially? Am I trying to prove myself? Am I chasing after it? Am I against it? Do I restrain myself from spending any money? Like, what is my relationship with my money, and what direction is it going in? Is it going in a good direction? Have I had growth with my money? Have I grown with my money the past year, or have I felt more restricted and more held back? And what can I do to change my current circumstance to get to a better place? Today's episode is called Money and Me. I hope you enjoyed. It kind of got a little interesting. Made you ask some questions. But yeah, guys, make your savings, build your savings in an account that you don't even need to look at, invest your money, and open a Roth IRA if you don't already have one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can message me Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Work in Process Pod. I hope this help someone out there. If you have any questions, reach out. I literally work in finance. Thank you for listening. Bye.